Whoa. I bet you ain't know that Black Lightning season 4 was out. Neither did I. But this is gonna be my recap, reaction, and review of Black Lightning season 4. Where we gonna go dive into is it good, is it okay? But I ain't gonna forget about the fact that it's a CW TV show. Even though season 1 and season 2 was powerful, but season 3 was a letdown for me. So you know where I stand in. So let's go diving into this here Black Lightning season 4. Let's do this. Whoa, what's good with your YouTube and YouTube busted? Your boy Triple Cup Chuck and I'm up. And appreciate you for coming rock with me, like, sharing, and subscribing. And if you have an opinion about the situation that's going on, leave a comment below. I'm gonna read it. Because when you comment, our collective minds put together, we bring synergy. This how we starting the video off? Double cup, feel it right. Told Chuck, I feel like every night is all night. Okay, now that I got my first cup of coffee in me, let's go ahead and get to talking about this Black Lightning. Let's start talking about some of the positive. Okay, one thing, they started this series a year later. I'm guessing because of the pandemic, and they wanted to make it sound as authentic as possible to keep up with the time that it's actually in. And they showing you like a year that went by. One of the things that I noticed, everybody, I don't know if y'all noticed, but everybody was on there was fresh. Everybody had a fresh haircut from Black Lightning to Black Lightning wife to Lightning, you know, his youngest daughter, to even the white man that be with him, that be helping him out. I forgot his name at this moment, but you know who I'm talking about. The dude that's always in the basement, the FBI super agent person that always one step ahead of everybody, and it's just him by himself somehow, some way. I don't want to even talk about that because y'all know that's unbelievable. Another unbelievable thing was in season 3, they had Wayne Brady as the main big bad villain of the universe that was over everything. That another thing was mind blowing. The way Wayne Brady did on Dave Chappelle, I was a fan of. I wasn't out a fan of Wayne Brady before that, but I see, okay, he just acting and clowning. He playing a role of what's his name, Carlton off of Will Smith. But with that being said, let's talk about my likes about Black Lightning season 4. The likes part about it is they moved on from that COVID thing when they was talking about, oh, this person trying to do this here, and they had the black dude. My girl keeps talking about the black dude with the pink lips, you know, the extra chocolate looking dude, the one that was he was supposed to be the good guy, but he was the bad guy, but it was such a shady gray area type of thing. But you know what I'm saying, you had a person like Tobias was supposed to be the bad guy, and now in this season they trying to bring him back to the light like he's a good guy, and he trying to do things to help out Freeland, right? So he was supposed to help out Freeland. He doing a lot of donating a lot of money, and I'm seeing the build up because the whole build up is he's supposed to be fighting against the metahumans, and people don't know that he's a metahuman himself. And then you got the dynamic between Black Lightning, his wife, and his kids, about Tobias actually knowing who Black Lightning who really is Black Lightning, and the kids and the wife, and that put them in danger because Tobias is one conniving, sneaky, dirty person. But I like the character. There's something about Tobias, the dude that played Tobias, he need a standing ovation because he's actually a better actor than everybody that's on there, and he wasn't a rapper. From what I found out, that he's a rapper out of California, and I seen the interview he did at the Breakfast Club. He destroyed Solomon the God with kindness. Certain things you don't see out of certain people, but his characteristics don't reflect upon the character that he play on the show. But the character that he play on the show is so well demeanor, where you actually start to say you want to see Tobias do more. You want to see Tobias get back into it, because season 3 he was like, where's Tobias? We want to see what Tobias got going on, and they just kept him in a cage, and the whole season 3 was shit. Now season 4 is actually better than what season 4 was at the opening introduction of the series. The fight scenes was a lot more choreographed, even though they did a lot of cheats when they did the slow motion scenes to let you know that they ain't really fighting, but they just kind of hitting each other. You know, the cinematography that they try to use to give you some type of fighting scene. Batwoman, I'm sorry, y'all need some help, because the fight scenes that y'all have, y'all was so pull on it. If y'all haven't seen it, this is how they did the main fight scene that's supposed to be huge, right? They had them fighting like they threw like 1 or 2 punches, and they grab and they swing each other around. They talk for a few seconds, then they go running into each other. They throw 1 or 2 more licks, and then all of a sudden they show it from a different angle, from a different person, and they showing them like they're watching the fight scene on the TV, supposed to be like watching it through Batwoman. And then all of a sudden the dude walk in front of the camera, so you can't see the fight scene, but they have an illusion to think that they still fighting while all this going on. And then after he move out of the way, so you'll be able to see what's actually going on. So they kind of like cut a lot of the fight scene out, and I'm heavy upon fight scenes. Without without the fight scenes, like for me, that's the bread and butter of the movie, because you want to see the climax to get to them so they can fight. That's what you want to see. But the whole story aspect is like a background thing, but it's mainstream. But you want to see the fights, because the fights is not the background, it's mainstream as well. You know, basically they go hand in hand. You know, pun intended, hand to hand combat. Get it? But let's talk about some of the other things that I liked about this Black Lightning season on 4. I mean, this is the first episode, and if you don't know about this, a spoiler is a spoiler out the rifics. If you don't know about the FBI agent, the police sheriff that was supposed to be like all about Freeland, he passed away, got killed in the last season, so they brought somebody in to replace him. The older sister, Thunder, her girlfriend is still in a coma from last season, so that have not been resolved. But the dynamic that they choosing to go with right now is like it's a split dynamic between husband and wife, friends and foes, and who is actually here to help you and who is going to betray you. And you have foes that's foes with each other, but they don't have nothing to do with Black Lightning. So you're going to see a conflict and a confrontation occur that don't have nothing to do with Black Lightning or Lightning and Thunder. That's going to occur. So I'm liking the dynamic that they starting to build. But with all that being said, I'm not going to make this video long because it's just a CW TV show. Even though I like it, I'm going to say some of the things that I don't like about it. That's, you know, it wasn't that much because it's a CW show. The best CW show right now is Swamp Thing. Don't count because I don't consider Swamp Thing no CW show. If I did, I'd say Swamp Thing #1 and Stargirl is #2. I'm sorry, it just is. But let's go back to this here. Some of the things that I didn't like. I didn't like the whole he pulled over and he seen them they talking on the radio about the gang wars and this and that, and they had to do. He had a hood on his head and he had to look like a violin or something, some type of musical instrument. So he playing a violin, walking down the street, but wasn't that playing? He was holding it, walking down the street, and the police pulled over. Hey, what are you doing? Pull over, get over. You know, it just went extra. To me, I don't mind them having these types of things, but don't throw it in people's face. And if you do it with a purpose and have more of a build up, so when somebody see it, they'll feel more sympathy to the people that's doing it, and even have like the police perspective of why they doing it, because they in fear and they fearing this going on, so they on edge and they scared because they don't know what's going to happen, what's the outcome going to be, so they overreacting, not just overreacting just to overreact. I don't like that. They need to add that depth into it. And then the show is long enough. It's what, 45 minutes, so they have enough time and opportunities to build up these type of things to give you that momentum switch. But without that, the show is not great on the simple fact of it's too much of a slow build to say they're not building nothing. The whole show is based on a recap of last season, and it's a year later. It's like a sending out finale. Then you bringing in another season just to say this is what happened after the great big payoff, which wasn't no payoff on the last season, because Wayne Brady is not no main villain. They should have played him as the role of he was a sneak snide person that scammed and got information and became this or grabbed that, but he was always a scary type. He had more of that personality instead of trying to make him like, oh, he they grandfather this and that. He got all this stuff, and you know the dynamic. I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. It's nothing they could change in this future that could make me like that dynamic. Maybe. Unless I be proven wrong. If y'all hear something that y'all like different than I did on them, let me know. Because the best thing about this new season was everybody had fresh haircuts, and they starting off with a year later, and they having more of a dynamic with the people that's going back and forth, that you gonna see certain sections are gonna start to form where there wasn't alliances at first. There's gonna be alliances. And the spoiler thing, that was the best moment at the end when Tobias was talking to Jefferson Peters' wife, and he was telling her, it's nice to meet you, and she was just looking stunned, and how he was a big donor, and I think that he gonna get the graces of the people back into his favor. But I just wish they did a better job of try to sell Tobias to the people that's actually watching the show as well, instead of you like, oh, I don't like him, he's a villain. But it has all to do with the writing, because the dude act Tobias to the T. They should put him inside the DCEU. They should give him a more bigger role and step him up, because the little CW shows is just not going to do him no justice, especially when it comes to the writing. Well, this your boy Triple Cup Chuck, and I'm out. Remember, I don't do this for me, I do this for we. So like, share, subscribe. Man, leave your comment down below. Let me know what's your favorite CW TV show, because mine's still Swamp Thing, Louisiana. We still #1 in here. Out.